for the next handful of years, as long as Lamar Jackson is under center, he will be a MVP candidate. Period.
Strong.
Lamar is the youngest quarterback to win MVP in NFL history. Lamar Jackson was just banged up last year, nicked up, had little injuries, and his athleticism is such a huge part of his game. If he doesn't have that, he's not Lamar. But Lamar is still young. The Ravens are a great organization. Defensively, they're going to keep them in the game because they're going to play great defense. We haven't seen anything like Lamar Jackson in the history of the league that can run the way he can run. His passing is improving. I believe the system somewhat holds him back, but that same system also gives him things that the way they run the ball, the zone reads, the way they fake the run, and he can hit Mark Andrews. He's just so dynamic that as long as he's healthy, he's an MVP candidate every single year. Now, what's going to happen is Lamar Jackson is going to have to get better, not as a passer, better as understanding I'm my team's best player. I have to be available. If I have to slide here and there, it's okay. I don't have to take this hit and get 3 yards. I'll just get 1 yard. Those 2 yards aren't worth that hit. That's the evolution of Lamar Jackson moving forward. But he's an MVP candidate the next handful of years as long as he's healthy.
I'm with you there. Of course he is. It's only 2 of those guys created in terms of unanimous MVPs. One is and one is And Lamar Jackson is one of them. Come on, him and Tom Brady, y'all better stop playing with this dude right here. We told Lamar Jackson he couldn't even play the quarterback position. Now someone is going to be out there and tell him he can't be an MVP once again? Stop it, stop it, stop it. Lamar Jackson had this team at 8-3 last year. I know a lot of times we look at the total record and we just say, oh, man, they were good or they were bad. But you forget the details. Well, the devil's in the details. It wasn't just Lamar Jackson banged up. Do y'all remember in the offseason going into training camp, who was the favorite to win the Super Bowl? One of those teams were the Baltimore Ravens. Then we saw injuries. Marcus Peters, Ronnie Stanley, J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards. These are names you don't have to Google, y'all. Okay, Marlon Humphrey, And then Derek Wolfe, They started to just get plucked away, and then Lamar Jackson went down. 8-3 team all of a sudden find themselves falling short of the playoffs. But now, Lamar Jackson coming back healthy. Lamar Jackson, please don't tell me that he was built off of Hollywood Brown and Hollywood's not there. Hollywood had one great year with Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson had an MVP candidacy and won it without Hollywood Brown being that guy. So all this adds up to a healthy team, a healthy Lamar Jackson, and the Ravens not only contending, but Lamar Jackson contending for that MVP.
Man, for 2 guys who could not have been more wrong about the Dallas Cowboys, you could not be more right about the Baltimore Ravens. And I say that as a Cincinnati Bengals fan who would like to believe different. But if there is any team in the AFC North that makes me nervous or makes me feel like, can the Bengals replicate what they did from a year ago? It is the Baltimore Ravens, and it is Lamar Jackson. All the points you guys made, I agree with 1,000%. On top of the fact that not only was Lamar hurt, and not only were the Ravens hurt, but the division was a little bit different than it is now. Browns, we don't know what's going to go on with them with Deshaun Watson. Pittsburgh Steelers, clearly in rebuilding. Bengals, can they replicate what they did? So the door is wide open for the Ravens. But there's one element that you two, as former professional athletes, I cannot believe you have yet to mention, which is the fact that Lamar Jackson comes into this season betting on Lamar Jackson.
Oh, there it is.
There is, aside from everything else, there is the motivation of, I want to get paid like an MVP. And so far, the negotiations have not made it seem like they are making an MVP-type offer. So Lamar Jackson not only has every opportunity because of the way the division sizes up and because the Ravens are going to be healthy and he's going to be healthy, but he also has something to play for, which is to get paid. Because right now he's in the last year of his contract, and all indications are that they are not going to sign, or he's not going to sign anything until after this season.
You know what also helps Lamar is he shows up for minicamp, and what is the guys on the team? Oh, man, the energy, everything around the building is just different. They believe in this dude wholeheartedly. When you have a quarterback that's the leader of your team and the rest of the players follow him, it makes your team better. The only thing that concerns me is this. You're an MVP, former MVP, and you're a candidate every year. Sign the contract.
Don't do that.
Are they offering him something that he doesn't want?
No.
I don't understand
I can help you.
what's going on with the contract. Like, Aaron Rodgers is making $50 million a year. Deshaun Watson is making $46. I'm coming right in there. They must be offering him something less than that. And he said, okay, I'm going to do this Kirk Cousins thing then. I'm going to play it out, and I'm going to franchise. You're going to franchise me twice, and then I'm going to get paid. I don't like that. Sign the contract, get what you can get now, meaning 4 years, $200 million. That's what it is. You're an MVP at the age of 22. That's what you deserve. Don't play around with your money, Lamar, because if you get hurt, it's going to be, okay, let's wait to see what happens next year. This team believes in him. John Harbaugh, one of the best coaches in the league, and it's what you said. I guess I grew up a Cowboys fan. I'm no longer a Cowboys.
It's coming out. Now we get it. Let's go.
I'm really a Bengals fan. Because I played the majority of my career. I root for the Bengals more than any other team.
Come on over.
And so
Come on over, TJ.
It's what you said.
Come on.
That's good for the division.
Yeah.
That Baltimore is going to be good. We're going to really see what the Bengals got. But Lamar Jackson is that dude. We've never seen anybody come into the league and do what Lamar did. Never. No. I don't think we'll see it again. But MVP candidate, yes. The Ravens need to pay the man, though.
Yeah, it's not just in style points either. It's also substance. Lamar Jackson, of all players under the age of 25 at the quarterback position, has the most wins of all of them. Yep, that includes Dan Marino. That includes Ben Roethlisberger, Drew Bledsoe. You name the quarterback. Yep, Lamar Jackson beat all of those guys. You got to remember what happened to the Ravens last year. The injuries really ravaged this team. 4 Ravens starters played all 17 games. Just 4. The third most injured team in the NFL. And we saw Lamar Jackson miss the final 4 games of the season. A team that was 8-3 all of a sudden just fell short. But I love TJ's point about, man, what is he thinking? If he gets hurt, what's going to happen to the money? Lamar Jackson is playing this perfectly. Slick. There's no bad offer coming from the Ravens because there's no offer at all, because there's no negotiation. Lamar Jackson said, I'm not coming to the table because I know one thing about the NFL, that your contract will be greater later, no matter who you are. Think about it. We talk about Joey Bosa. I always bring this up because someone sent me some stats of me early in my career compared to Joey Bosa, and I was way closer than I thought I was. But my contract was nowhere close to what Joey Bosa got because it always is greater later. The cap goes up. So TJ says, but what if you get hurt? Well, Dak Prescott raises his hand and says, even if you get hurt, big dog, they're going to check the resume and say, you're going to get paid.
You're young enough to come back from it.
Come on, we're going to bet on you like he's betting on himself. And then Kirk Cousins raises his hand, as you guys mentioned, and he's like, you could work this franchise tag all the way into success. Long story short, Matthew Stafford signed a big deal like 2017. They looked at Kirk Cousins and said, please, we ain't giving you Matthew Stafford money. Take this franchise tag. Take this franchise tag. If you add up their dollar values and how much they've made since that point, Kirk Cousins has made more than Matthew Stafford. Kirk Cousins, he ain't even half as good as Matthew Stafford. Now let's just take out Kirk Cousins and put in Lamar Jackson. It's going to be greater later. That dude is smart. Even in injury, he's protected. He's an MVP, maybe a 2-time one by that time.